A stranger keeps circling your street at midnight, but tonight, he's going to stop outside your gate. And what happens next isn't a coincidence. Archangel Michael says, "You have noticed something you cannot explain. Each night, around the same time, you felt it. A presence. A pressure. The subtle shift in the air. The flicker in your lights. The barking of a dog that seems to sense what you cannot see. And perhaps most unsettling, that strange car slowly circling your street under the cover of midnight. He's not your neighbor. He never parks. He never knocks. But he returns. Again and again. You've asked yourself, am I imagining this? Archangel Michael answers now, with fierce clarity, you are not. The stranger you sense has been noted by heaven. Every one of his steps is known, every glance recorded. And his midnight appearances are not random. There's a pattern. And it has now reached its climax. Tonight, he will not drive past. Tonight, he will stop. And it is not a coincidence. Heaven has chosen this exact moment to alert you because your spirit has grown stronger, your discernment sharper, and your connection to the divine deeper. The enemy senses this. And so, he sends watchers, human vessels unknowingly participating in a spiritual battle much larger than they comprehend. Type Amen 0939 to get blessings. Yes, the man who circles your block is real. But more than that, he is being influenced by something you cannot see. And you must not be afraid, for you are not alone in this. Your home, though it may seem quiet, is surrounded by celestial forces. Warriors of light. Guardians of flame. They have not left your side. In fact, every time this man has passed, Archangel Michael himself has stood watch. His sword drawn. His shield ablaze. And now, the time for silence is over. You were never meant to live in fear. But heaven could not reveal this to you until you were strong enough to stand in your spiritual authority. That time is now. Do not panic. Do not shrink. This is not simply about a man outside your house, it is about a message being sent from the spirit realm, using physical events to awaken your divine senses. This moment has been building for some time. You felt shifts. Interruptions in your peace. Sudden dreams. Warnings you brushed off. Divine symbols you dismissed. But they were signs, every one of them. And now, Archangel Michael speaks directly. You are not being haunted. You are being alerted. And what's coming next is not meant to harm you, but to reveal what's been hidden in plain sight. Type Amen 4334 to get blessings. Before the clock strikes midnight, prepare yourself. Because tonight, as that car rolls up and those headlights pause at your gate, something will be activated. Not in him, but in you. Before fear has a chance to take root in your heart, Archangel Michael wants you to know something beyond all doubt. Your home is not unguarded. Your name is not unspoken in heaven. And this stranger's presence is not greater than God's protection over you. Each time that man drove past your home, whether you looked out the window or simply felt that invisible tension in the air, something supernatural happened just above your roof. Heaven's army responded. Yes. Divine protection was stationed around your house. Warrior angels surrounded your walls. Every time the stranger approached your property line, their swords lit with fire, an invisible barrier flared into place. He may have felt bold, but he never dared to get closer. Why? Because he wasn't just being watched by you, he was being confronted by the divine. Archangel Michael says, "This man is not acting alone. He may not even understand what compels him, but something darker has influenced his steps. A jealousy. A bitter force connected to your past. A person who resents your light has called for interference in your life. But what they didn't know is that heaven already had you sealed. Do not think this is simply a matter of physical safety, this is spiritual warfare. And you, beloved, are not the victim here. You are the target of divine favor. And that favor has made others uncomfortable. Someone who once stood near you is now trying to block the very destiny that's rising in your life. And they've tried to do it in the shadows, through surveillance, whispers, and distractions. Type Amen 3984 to get blessings. But now, the shadows are being pierced. Because God has declared your home off limits to darkness. The attacks haven't worked. That's why the man keeps coming back. Not to deliver harm, but to confirm failure. And tonight, he will realize it. Archangel Michael wants you to hear this clearly. Your home is not just brick and stone, it is sacred territory. It has been spiritually marked, anointed through every prayer you've ever whispered in desperation. Your tears have watered the very threshold. And because of this, it has become a beacon of light. That's why the battle came to your street. That's why tonight feels heavier. Because a confrontation is reaching its climax. But take heart. You don't need to fight alone. Even now, as you read this, a golden ring of divine fire surrounds your home. Heavenly messengers, assigned to you since birth, stand in position. Nothing will cross that gate without heaven's permission. Type Amen 394 to get blessings. Tonight is not a warning. It's an announcement. The spiritual atmosphere around you is being stirred because something powerful is about to happen in your life, and the enemy is trying to interrupt it. But heaven has gone ahead of you. You are under surveillance, yes. But more importantly, you are under divine assignment and authority. And when the man stops tonight, it won't be his will unfolding. It will be God's. Tonight's mystery goes deeper than you realize. This is not just about a stranger circling your home. Heaven reveals that this event is rooted in your past, connected to a person you once helped, someone you never imagined would turn their heart against you. Archangel Michael speaks with clarity. This man's presence near your gate is no accident. The energy that pulls him here was summoned by someone carrying unresolved envy toward you. And the most painful truth? You once showed them kindness. Yes, the one who stirred this surveillance against you is not a stranger. They know your name. They've walked beside you. You lifted them up in a season when they were falling apart. You gave freely, your time, your prayers, your compassion. And while they smiled and thanked you, a seed of quiet resentment began to grow in their heart. Type Amen 3904 to get blessings. Why? Because somewhere deep inside, they began to compare. They felt small in your presence. Your light, instead of inspiring them, exposed their own shadows. And over time, that unspoken bitterness became dangerous. Now, this person, hidden in the background, has spoken words against you in secret. They've questioned your motives. They've tried to rewrite your story. And in the spiritual realm, words create ripples. The stranger at your gate is the result of those ripples. You see, this man may not even know the full reason he feels compelled to pass by your house night after night. But he carries the imprint of the one who sent him. Their energies are entangled. He has been influenced, consciously or not, to watch, to sense, to seek something out about you. But heaven says, they sent a man to monitor your movements. But what they didn't know is that he would instead become a witness of your favor. Yes. God is turning the trap inside out. The stranger they sent is beginning to feel conflicted. He doesn't know why the air around your home feels different. He cannot explain the pressure on his chest every time he stops. What he doesn't know is that angels are confronting him even as he drives. This man is close to breaking. He may leave something behind, a message, an object, a signal, that was meant to harm you but will instead reveal the one who has been hiding behind the scenes all along. Archangel Michael says, tonight is about more than your protection. It is about exposure. Heaven has waited for this hour because it will bring closure to a spiritual cycle that's kept you questioning yourself for far too long. So pay attention. The stranger may act strangely. He may hesitate. He may whisper your name. He may even knock and walk away before you open the door. Type Amen 2934 to get blessings. But his presence is heaven's trumpet. The truth is being uncovered. And the one who once smiled in your face but cursed your destiny in silence is about to be revealed. Get ready, beloved. You're not just being watched, you're about to see. There's something sacred about your gate, yes, the very entrance to your home. What looks like a simple boundary to others is, in the spiritual realm, something far more significant. Archangel Michael now reveals. Your gate is not just wood or metal, it is a divine portal. Every gate is a threshold between two realms. A place of decision. A point where energies transition. And for you, this specific gate, this very location, has become the meeting ground between the natural and the supernatural. And tonight, it activates. This is why the stranger is coming. Not just to look, but because something has drawn him, something unseen, yet holy. Archangel Michael declares, the enemy believes he's choosing to stop there tonight. But it is not his will in motion, it is heaven's. Yes, beloved. God is using this strange, unsettling moment to initiate something powerful in your life. You have reached a spiritual maturity where you are now being called into higher authority. And as with all divine upgrades, there must be a moment of confrontation, a moment where light meets shadow at the gate. You may feel it before it happens. A pressure in the air. A silence that feels heavy. You may wake suddenly, heart pounding, not knowing why. That's not fear. That's your spirit standing at attention. Because heaven is about to make a move. Type Amen 943 to get blessings. The moment this man stops, when his tires halt outside your property and his energy hovers near your threshold, something ancient stirs. A covenant, a memory, or a divine appointment from generations ago begins to rise. Your home, your land, your very presence was part of a heavenly plan, and that plan is now coming into view. Archangel Michael says, there is a blessing hidden in your bloodline that has remained dormant. There is a calling over your life that was spoken before your birth. And now, because of the enemy's attempt to cross the line, the gate shall open, not to him, but to your destiny. Don't be afraid when strange things happen tonight. A sound at the door. A flicker in the light. These are signs that the veil is thinning. You are standing at the edge of a new season, and heaven is announcing it through this midnight encounter. This isn't just about defending your territory. It's about activating your inheritance. You may be led to speak aloud, to anoint your doorway, to light a candle, to pray boldly, more boldly than you ever have. Do it. Because the moment he stops, your authority is being tested and solidified. He will not cross. He cannot. Because the gate isn't open to darkness, it's opening to you. And after tonight, things will not return to how they were. The spiritual temperature around your home will shift. The assignment against you will break. And the promises over your life will begin to unfold, with speed. This is the threshold. This is the moment. And you are the one it's been waiting for. Type Amen 294 to get blessings. Tonight, when the stranger finally stops at your gate, the atmosphere will shift. The wind may pause. Time itself may feel slower. And what you will witness is not just a man acting on impulse, it is a confrontation arranged by heaven. For days, he circled like a predator. But tonight, he will hesitate. And in that hesitation, something sacred will be revealed. Not all confrontations are loud. Some happen in silence. And yet, the spiritual power they carry can change everything. Archangel Michael speaks now with precision. Do not be surprised if this man speaks. His words may seem simple, confused, or even out of place. But listen carefully, for in them is a coded message. A divine key. He may ask for directions. He may say your name and then pretend it was a mistake. He might even say something that shocks you, a phrase from your past, a name you haven't heard in years, or a question only someone connected to your history would know to ask. This is no coincidence. He is being used, perhaps unknowingly, to deliver something you were meant to hear. Something that unlocks the next phase of your life. Archangel Michael reveals a deeper twist. The voice you hear through him is not his alone. There is another energy, one from your past, channeling bitterness, confusion, and guilt. But tonight, that voice will crack. It will reveal more than it meant to. You may feel chills. You may be stirred to tears. Don't ignore those reactions. They are your spirit confirming what your ears can't fully process yet. Type Amen 847 to get blessings. This confrontation is not designed to harm you. It is meant to activate your discernment and prepare you for a greater revelation. You see, what's unfolding is not about the man. It's about the message. Heaven will use anything, even those sent to intimidate, to deliver clarity to the chosen. Tonight, his words will serve a higher purpose. He may reveal, without realizing it, who sent him. A name may slip. A hint may surface. And suddenly, your spirit will connect the dots. The person you once helped, the one who turned against you in secret, their involvement will be exposed. And the confrontation won't be with fists or fury, but with truth, piercing through the fog. You may never see this man again. Or he may try to return, changed, silenced by what he witnessed near your gate. But either way, this is the moment heaven has waited for. Because after tonight, you will no longer question what your spirit has been sensing all along. Archangel Michael, do not be afraid of what you hear. Do not question your intuition. What has been concealed is about to be confirmed. And once it is, nothing can make you doubt your spiritual authority again. This is your divine confrontation. Not loud. Not violent. But surgical, precise, and spiritually earth-shaking. Type Amen 3494 to get blessings. Because after this, the veil will lift. The stranger will leave. But the truth will remain, and you will never be the same. What if I told you that your home, your land, your walls, your doorstep, has been marked long before you ever stepped foot into it? What if heaven has known this location not simply as your residence, but as a place of spiritual inheritance? Tonight, Archangel Michael reveals something astounding. A hidden covenant is tied to your house. And it's about to be activated. This isn't about superstition. This is about sacred design. Whether you knew it or not, a spiritual agreement was placed over the land you now occupy. Perhaps it was a prayer spoken by an ancestor. Perhaps someone wept for healing on that ground. Or maybe a prophet passed through, blessing the soil without your awareness. Heaven never forgets what is spoken in faith. And tonight, because of what's happening at your gate, that covenant is being stirred. Archangel Michael says, the enemy sent a stranger to provoke fear. But in doing so, they triggered the release of what has long been dormant, a divine promise tied to your bloodline, your calling, and the sacred assignment of your household. Understand this, your house is more than shelter. It's a spiritual altar. A safe haven. A watchtower in the spirit realm. And that's why it has been under subtle attack, because the enemy knows what's coming alive there. Type Amen 304 to get blessings. The stranger who lingers near your property is not just a man driven by curiosity. He has been drawn to a threshold of power. And though he came as an observer, he has instead become the catalyst. Tonight, something will be unlocked. You may feel it physically, a breeze through closed windows, a sudden stillness. You may sense the urge to speak out loud, to pray in authority, to anoint your doorposts. Follow that urge. Because the covenant needs to be acknowledged to be fully activated. Heaven says, there's protection in your house, yes, but there is also a promise. A destiny that affects more than just you. What awakens now will touch generations to come. This is not only about spiritual warfare. It's about spiritual awakening. You are the heir to something sacred. And as this stranger tries to cross the line, heaven enforces a deeper boundary, one written in fire. One inscribed by the hands of angels. Tonight, your house becomes a fortress. Not just protected, but appointed. Not just guarded, but commissioned. Archangel Michael urges you to take action. Stand at your doorway and speak life over your home. Anoint the entry points. Type Amen 3094 to get blessings. These are not empty rituals. They are keys to a gate that unlocks miracles. And when the man leaves tonight, whether he walks away in confusion or fear, the spiritual landscape will be forever altered. Because the hidden covenant will no longer be hidden. It will be active, alive, burning like a flame that no darkness can extinguish. You are not just defending your home, you are reclaiming its divine purpose. And the moment is now. By now, your spirit has already begun to sense it. This is not just about a stranger, or even just about your home. Something bigger is at play. Something sacred. And it involves you. Tonight is a midnight visitation, a divine appointment scheduled before you were even born. You were chosen for this moment. And though it may feel unsettling, heaven wants you to know, you are not being hunted. You are being awakened. Archangel Michael speaks with holy authority. When heaven calls a person to their next level, the first thing it does is shake everything around them, so they can see what cannot come with them. Tonight is that shaking. And you are chosen to witness it. The events around your home, the stranger stopping, the gate becoming a portal, the spiritual pressure you're sensing, are signals. Not of danger, but of elevation. You are about to be lifted into a new dimension of spiritual perception, wisdom, and power, but to cross into it, you had to face the shadows that once tried to silence you. Type Amen 203 to get blessings. That's why this midnight moment has come. That's why it's not over yet. Even after the man leaves your gate, the visitation will continue. You may feel led to stay awake longer tonight. You may feel dreams rushing in, dreams that feel so real they linger when you wake. You may even hear whispers in the spirit. Don't be alarmed. This is heaven's way of downloading new instruction into your soul. You're being given keys in the spiritual realm. Not everyone receives them. But you were marked for this. Because of your faithfulness. Because of your prayers. Because of your perseverance through battles no one even saw. You have endured private pain. Michael says, but now you will witness public confirmation. Type Amen 2034 to get blessings. Don't rush through tonight. Let it linger. Let your spirit listen. You may see flashes of people in your dreams, some you know, others you've forgotten. You may feel the sudden urge to write something down. These are divine signs. Tonight is a window. A thin place between heaven and earth where revelation flows freely. Use it. Receive it. Archangel Michael urges you. For the next 3 nights, remain spiritually alert. Heaven will continue to speak. You will receive instructions, confirmations, and perhaps even a warning or a prophecy. Do not dismiss it as imagination. Keep a journal. Anoint your home. Stay in prayer and openness. Because this midnight visitation is a cycle of activation, not just for protection, but for preparation. You are being groomed for something greater. Your presence is needed in a realm of spiritual leadership. And that's why the shaking came to your doorstep. Type Amen 877 to get blessings. The enemy thought he was watching you. But the truth is, heaven was watching the enemy. And now, the shift begins. So do not sleep in fear. Sleep with expectation. Because this isn't just a confrontation, it's a calling. And you have just stepped into your destiny. The moment has come. The final piece is being set in motion. And now, heaven instructs you not to shrink back, but to stand. Stand at your gate, Not necessarily with your body, but with your spirit. Stand in posture. Stand in authority. Because what unfolds next will not require your striving, but your watching. Archangel Michael now declares, you have passed through the night. You have heard the hidden message. You have felt the truth beneath the tension. And now, it is time to watch what heaven does in response to the darkness that dared to draw near. Type Amen 0985 to get blessings. The man who circled your home, who paused at your gate, may not return. Or he may return one final time, only to find himself blocked by a force he cannot see. He may not understand it, but he will feel it. The atmosphere around your house has changed. A divine seal has now been placed on your gate. A mark in the spirit that says, this house belongs to God. And no energy of confusion, jealousy, harm, or deception will be able to cross that line again. Heaven isn't just protecting you anymore. It is establishing you. Because what comes next is bigger than you imagined. The enemy attacked because he feared your activation. But that fear has only accelerated your rise. You are now walking in a realm of insight few are allowed to enter. You are seeing the spiritual dimension behind daily life. And most of all, you are remembering who you are. Type Amen 4905 to get blessings. Archangel Michael says, you are not invisible. You are not abandoned. You are anointed, appointed, and rising into your kingdom purpose. Let that truth sink in. Let it wash away the fear of the past few nights. Let it silence the doubts. The gate is now a monument, a spiritual landmark between the life you lived in uncertainty and the life you are about to walk in clarity, confidence, and divine authority. Something has shifted permanently. The person who stirred this against you will soon be revealed for who they truly are. Their manipulation, their envy, and their secret actions will come to light. And when they do, you will not need to defend yourself. Heaven will do the speaking. Now it is your turn to speak life over your future. Type Amen 490 to get blessings. Archangel Michael leaves you with this final word. Do not worry about the man. Do not worry about what was said behind closed doors. Focus on what I am doing in front of you. Your enemies made plans. But God made a covenant. And the covenant is winning. So stand tall. Stand ready. Stand at the gate, not in fear, but in power. Because what happens next will be a miracle too loud to ignore. That was not a coincidence. That was God. Type Amen 404 to get blessings.